The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. Welcome to my channel. My name is Samuel and I want to make self-growth normal. If you want to make self-growth normal, because I don't want to do it alone, and who doesn't want to make self-growth normal, then make sure to smash that like button. For quite some time, I saw a lot of hype around this book. I kept seeing it on Audible, people kept recommending it to me, and as usual, other than let's get this book, I wasn't sure what to think. The other night when I got it, I looked at the reviews and there were so many one-star reviews. This is just a commercial. The author's trying to upsell you. Too much self-advertisement, not enough content. And I was like, okay, here we go. But that sparked my interest because it's like, how much would I agree? Is there actual substance at all? If so, how much? And what is it exactly? Some people may be watching this video and they're like, Sam, why are you thinking so much about a non-fiction morning routine book? I review a lot of books and I like to think I've heard quite a bit. This is just a very well-known book. So how is that the case when it's all allegedly a self-advertisement? And this concerns me because I've seen books like High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. A lot of the reviews said the same thing and I was astounded by the rather, at this point, unorthodox, perhaps collectively forgotten self-help value in it. Yet, when you get to some books like Get Out of Your Own Way by Dave Hollis and You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, you probably hear much more of the words success, desire, the life you want, achieve your goals and your dreams. These are very, very powerful words, but when you spend 10 to 20 bucks and you do it over and over again and you hear them, there's gonna be a point where you hear them enough that maybe it hurts your ability to habitually assign specific meanings to them. And they may sound vague, and this all probably may sound like an idiotic over speculation, but I hope to address these odds and ends in this video regarding The Miracle Morning. Despite these odds and ends regarding The Miracle Morning, of course, I intend to share what I learned. As always, we're gonna go over some standout quotes from the book, who I recommend the book to, and what books to maybe check out next. I will say this, the author of this book, he seems like a pretty nice guy. Then again, so do most high-pressure salespeople. Just kidding. And I work with salespeople. And I am a salesperson, so I like to think that we're nice people. He's not a bad writer. He's certainly a decent storyteller, and I was definitely glad that I kept listening. Keep watching to find out why, because I really don't see this book as that much of a self-advertisement at all, really. And I'm not sure exactly where these people are coming from, where they say that aside from the occasional call to action to download this or that from, or go to his site or look at the Facebook group or whatever, in the chapter The Miracle Morning's Origin, Born Out of Desperation, there is an interesting concept I haven't exactly heard before. When you turn your life around, it's either because of inspiration or desperation. A lot of success stories told in these books typically involve a horrific rock bottom, or maybe a series of rock bottoms, and this author's story falls into that category. And I don't think that's a bad thing, or you don't really have a rock bottom, and you're just inspired by books like this and they compel you to take action. For me, really any defeat is kind of a rock bottom. A lot of my life is spent working as if I'm in desperation. My lowest rock bottom was an existential suicidal depression when I was 17. I was very sick. What was yours? I mean, if you guys are comfortable telling me in the comments below, let me know. I'm very curious. If you're not comfortable telling me, I totally understand. But the type of thinking that got me out of it is, it's kind of like the type of thinking that's presented in books like this one. Elrod says that the reality check, the 95% reality check, is that approximately 95% of our society settles for far less than they want in life, wishing they had more, living in regret, and never understanding that they can have, do, and be more than they ever wanted. According to the Social Security Administration, not some little lab of people studying the economy or something, but the Social Security Administration. If you take any 100 people at the start of their working careers and you follow them for, it's kind of creepy sounding, but you kind of track them for 40 years until their retirement, you will find that 1 will be wealthy, 4 will be financially secure. Not sure what that means. Isn't that like kind of subjective? Like, isn't the term financially secure up to how much that person needs? 6 will work not because they want to, but because they need to. 36 will be dead. Really? 36? I feel like that's a lot. And 54, over half of them will be broke and dependent on friends, family, relatives, and or the government to take care of them. Okay, the way I see this, everyone who relies on family, friends, relatives, and the government to take care of them in financial assistance, they have their reasons. But a lot of people, the fact of the matter is, they have completely reversed the switch. Because of those same reasons. You were abused. You have a condition that prevents you from learning or working or both at the same quality / speed of, the average person, if you will. The love of this author's life broke his heart. He kind of died in a vehicular accident, and he was $425,000 in personal debt, and he got out of all of it. And he seems to be doing very well now. If you don't know why that is, you hear it and you kind of wonder. In the chapter, Why Did You Wake Up This Morning? He touches upon the self-fulfilling, self-sabotaging prophecy of, I got 6 hours of sleep instead of 8. I'm gonna feel exhausted today. When in reality, we are all snowflakes. And everyone's health is different. And this is something I've wondered about for several of the last several years. I got 6 hours of sleep a night, no more, no less. And if I got more or I got less, I would tell myself that I'm exhausted today. And it just happened to be true. That was just what happened every time I got more or less than 6 hours of sleep. As you can imagine, it was pretty consistent, the 6 hours I got. But I wondered after a point in time if this is just the story I'm telling myself, listening to the occasional book that has a chapter or the full book about why it's so important to get like 7 hours of sleep or more. Are there actual short and long-term benefits that I was overlooking to doing that? I wondered this until I heard Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, which scared me the hell straight into sleeping more every night. But I did this with no specific go to bed or wake up time. I'm not sure if I should go back to 6 hours of sleep or I should stick to 7+. What do you guys do? What are your thoughts on this? What is your experience? Please tell me in the comments below. I'm very curious about that too. I'm a very curious person. For all of the snoozeaholics, there's a 5-step snooze-proof wake-up strategy. And I'm gonna tell you guys the 5 steps right now because you don't need to buy the book for them. In this case, take notes if you have to. Step 1 is to consciously decide every single night that you are going to wake up and actively create a positive expectation for the next morning. Step 2 is to move your alarm clock across the room. I got this idea originally from Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's what some people call environmental engineering. It's just a lot easier to wake yourself up when you have to physically get out of your bed to turn your alarm off. Step 3 is immediately go to the bathroom and brush your teeth. Step 4 is drink a full glass of water. Something I had not heard before is that after 6 to 8 hours of dehydration, the body actually experiences fatigue. Step 5 is get dressed or jump in the shower. The next chapter is The Life Savers, SAVERS. 6 practices guaranteed to save you from a life of unfulfilled potential. How many of these books say unfulfilled and potential way more than they probably should or need to? I don't know. A quick side note about book buying, given what I just laid out in the last chapter summary thing. Sometimes I think that there are going to be people who watch these reviews and they're like, Sam, I'm just here to watch your reviews and hear what you have to say. I'm not going to buy any of these books. Hey man, no worries. Fair enough. A lot of people will intentionally spend money on books and courses that they can probably find. A lot of the books that I review, you could probably find the audio version online for free. But people buy that anyway because the financial cost forces them to learn and digest the information that they paid for. You know what I mean? There is a that I don't say in these reviews. The next chapter includes a lot about silence, S, affirmations, A, visualization, V, exercise, E, reading, R, and scribing, S. In the 6-minute miracle morning, real results in 6 minutes, he goes over a 6-minute way to do all of this in 6 minutes. Tony Robbins says, if you had to pay attention to one life coach your entire life, I would recommend paying attention to Tony Robbins. This man has coached multi-billionaires, legendary rappers, presidents, Olympians, and Oprah. This man says that if you don't have 10 minutes to do just like meditation or something like that, you don't have a life. And the next chapter, which I really, really like, is customizing your miracle morning to fit your lifestyle and, of course, achieve your biggest goals and dreams. I thought at first that this would be like an unnecessary section because it's like, why doesn't he just give us the bare minimum and let us read or listen to the book over and over and find like creative ways on our own to adjust and customize it to our own needs? But there's something about a morning routine specifically where those needs, I feel like they can be very particular. So in this chapter, he lays out how to do that from wake up time to the total duration of your routine, to what you do, to how long, to the order of activities, to when and what to eat in the morning and what to do on the weekends. And even if you have like a graveyard shift or something like that. Maybe the last third of the book, there are a lot of calls to action for information related stuff. And especially in the digital age, knowing what I know about sales in person and online, and this guy has much more sales experience than I do. I will say the chances are those CTAs are an introduction to his sales funnel, if this book isn't. Most of The Miracle Morning is packed with basics. If you think it's cheesy for whatever reason in the beginning of the book, the more you hear of it, just hear him out. I really think he has a lot to say, and I do think that there's a lot to learn from him. Quotes: "What if your life can finally be something that you can't wait to be conscious for? Your first thought in the morning is usually the last thought you had before you went to bed. You can learn more in an hour of silence than you can in a year of books. If you don't make time for exercise, you'll probably have to make time for illness." Direction 1. I would recommend this book for anyone looking for something basic in self-development. This is very basic stuff, but I still think there's something in it for everyone. To be frank, I've heard most of this book before. If you get this book and you've been around the block per se regarding self-development, a lot of this isn't very original, but it is the first book I've come across that is specifically about a morning routine. Something else, maybe it was just the right time for me to check out a book like this. My morning routine was okay in the last year or so, but it has suffered dramatically. If you want to improve your morning routine, this book is spectacular, okay? It's an inspiring place to remind yourself of what gets you results from the beginning of the day onward. Direction 2. If you like this book, you may like The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Badass Habits by Jen Sincero might be up your alley as well. There was some stuff in here that vaguely reminded me of The School of Greatness by Lewis Howes. But for more on gratitude and just brain rewiring, you might like Waken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. There's a link in the description if you guys want to check it out and read the reviews. That and all the other books that I mentioned in this video if you want to check those out too. If you guys buy anything through the links in the description, I get commission, which helps me keep making these videos and keep building this channel. But hey, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, because I don't get why people watch this far into my videos and they don't subscribe. But if you have subscribed and you want to turn it up just a notch and turn on that notification bell to get a notification whenever I drop new videos, that would mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You can find me everywhere and I will see you then. Oh, and by the way, my next review is going to be of my favorite book ever. I've been reviewing books for over a year and a half now, and I'm finally reviewing it. I've been putting it off for too long. It's gotta happen. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. In the meantime, stay safe. I hope you guys have an awesome, what day is it? Tuesday? I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week, and hopefully I'll see you Saturday or earlier.